What's going on, guys? We are back once again, and we are going to be continuing talking about the Book of Boba Fett. Now, again, let's get something straight. Everybody has been talking about Book of Boba Fett. Oh, it sucks. Oh, it's, boring. Oh, Boba's to this, Boba's to that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this out of the way. Is every episode perfect? No, it is not. But at the same time, there are things about Book of Boba Fett I like, and there's things about it I dislike. Now, I will say this episode was more of a flashback episode because, again, Boba has been in the back to tank, and he starts remembering him trying to not only get his shit back from Bib Fortuna, but at the same time, it actually gets shown when he saves Fennec Shen from dying, because he finds her when he is scoping out the Jabba's palace, and he sees that flash of light in the sky when the Mando and the other one was trying to get her at the time. So he finds her, picks her up, brings her to that cyberpunk looking shop to get her fixed. And again, this I kind of had an issue with, but at the same time I didn't, to where the guy that's working on another girl, he's like, well, you don't do this, you got to make an appointment. And he's like, gives him money, and he's like, oh, well, you should have started with that. And then he fixes it. And what was so funny is I was kind of hoping like Boba would have threatened him or something like that. But again, we see where Fennec gets fixed up, and then after that happens, we see where she wakes up and he introduces himself to her. She's thinking he's not who he says he is. She's saying Boba's dead, and he says I was. So after explaining everything to her and saying he wants to get his ship back, and they infiltrate Jabba's palace to go through silently to make sure everyone is not able to see him, because he even says at one point through the episode, there are perks about people thinking you're dead. So now that everyone thinks that he's dead, he has an option to make sure that, hey, I don't have to let everyone know I'm alive just yet. Now, I will say, seeing Slave 1, and again, I'm going to say this, and if you get angry, I don't give a damn, because guess what, guys? There were slaves in Star Wars. Anakin was a slave. So it's going to stay Slave 1, just like it was stated in any game, even in the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game. It was Slave 1. So while they are trying to get Slave 1, they are trying to not only infiltrate it, but also get it. Now, there is a weird little funny that they tried doing where Boba is trying to kill the droids, and there's one little droid that's running away from Boba and Fennec, and then he finally gets it, and it turns off by itself after he realizes who he is. And we see they're trying to get into the to the ship, and when they finally do, they're having issues trying to get out. And when this happens, Fennec actually shoots down one of the cranes that's holding up the entrance to Jabba's palace, and they were able to escape. And she says, okay, well, what is your plans now? He says, I got some scores to settle. And he says, you're free now, so where are you going to go? And she says, that she wants to go along for the ride. So she wants to see what he's going to do. And then he even says that, he's going to do some maintenance on himself, because he doesn't want to go to Mos Espa, because, again, there's benefits to people not knowing he's alive. So first thing he does, he goes after the bikers that killed the Tuskens, and then he goes to the Starlight Pit, because again, he thinks that's where his armor is. And even after going a little further in, and there was some beautiful shots in this, I will say that it was a beautiful shot to where we got to see Slave 1 looking into with a light for the Starlight Pit. I will say that was pretty cool. And then at the same time, where the Starlight Pit was trying to take down Slave 1, and then Fennec unleashes a huge bomb, which we all know, which we saw in Mando and even in Attack of the Clones, where you hear that boom, and it destroys the Starlight Pit. And then Boba goes down there to look for his armor. He comes back out, and the armor is nowhere near seen. And so he's wondering now exactly where the hell his armor is. Right? So what was cool about this, first off, is Fennec even got to show a little bit of her gadgets that she uses to be able to infiltrate a certain area. And we even get to see her talking to Boba, because he tells her that he's willing to not basically be the same. He doesn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. And she says, so you want to start up your own family? And he says, yes. And he kind of just looks at her like, what? And she says, being with the Tuscans hardened you, softened you up. And he says, no, they made me strong. He says, you can only go so far without a family. So what's really cool about this is we even got to see him where, I guess now, even after going through all the memories, that I think the memories are now going to stop, because it's now shown even when he shot Bib Fortuna, and even when he went to go talk to everyone. We got to see that mafia boss scene, right? And what we even got to see also is he goes to that bar where it is in the city, and we get to see Black Rosanna. He is watching one's bet, right? And Trandoshans are betting, having a good time. He gets so angry, and he just starts whooping the living hell out of them, throwing them, punching them. And the one that is I would say the mistress of the house, she tells him, oh, you don't have to do that. Yes, you are a gladiator, you are a great warrior, but unfortunately that time's done now, and you need to let that go. If you do this, then I'll wipe your entire bar tab. And this and Boba, he comes in and he's watching, because now he's fully healed. Boba is now fully healed, apparently, because even the droid says, congratulations, Master Fett, you are fully healed. And he goes into town after trying to talk to everybody, and we even get to see this where he goes to Black Rosanna after he even leaves, after pulling the socket off one of the Trandoshans, and he's like, hey mate, he looks like you're in need of a job. So he hires Black Rosanna to be his muscle while this is going on, while he has a meeting with all the leaders in the local area to give them a option of, okay, look, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but at the same time, we all need to band together to take on the Pikes, because if they're going to go after my territory, how long is it going to be before they go after your territory? Is pretty much what he's coming up with. Now, after some talking, one of the ones comes up and he says, well, why should we listen to you? Why don't we just kill you and take away your territory and find out what happens? Now, as soon as that happens, which was funny, we got to see the Rancor try to go through the bottom of the dinner table, and he looks down, and he's like, he just kind of gets that smile. He's like, he's kind of hungry. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, yeah, bitch, he's got a Rancor now. So it's like, yeah, he's got a Rancor. He's got muscle now. He's getting soldiers. So again, I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, we need to see a little bit more of a badass Boba Fett. And I think we're slowly getting there, but at the same time, people are not being patient enough. I'm hoping that we get to see more badass Boba Fett. We got to see a little bit more of a badass Boba Fett in this, but not as much as I personally would like. And at the same time, right when they end the meeting, because the Trandoshans, they accept the offer, as well as even another family, and the other one, they agree as well. And we even get to see where they all agree, because Boba states, if they come to you, stay neutral if they want you to betray me. Now, again, someone's obviously going to betray him. Don't know who. It's going to come at some point, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Now, they do watch them leave, Fennec and Boba, when they're leaving from the palace area, and she even says, do you trust any of them? He says, I trust that their interests are going on to align with mine. Now, he says, but I need muscle. And she says, well, you can always buy muscle. He says, I got plenty of credits. And then she says, then I know where to find it. So, and then you hear the Mandalorian ring, right? So I'm thinking, and this is going to be my thought, and this is how the episode ends. Here's my prediction for next week, or in one of the episodes. I think what they're going to do is they are going to get Mando to help and possibly try to find him. Fennec Shen, they're going to try to find, not Fennec, but Fennec or Boba is going to try to find him, Bo-Katan, and the other Mandalorians that were loyal around him, that helped, obviously, with Baby Yoda. And he's going to be like, okay, look, I know you may not want to do this, but at the same time, I helped you with this. You need to help me with this as well. I can pay you even. So again, I have a feeling he is going to take him upon his offer if that does go that route. Because again, you got Black Rosanna with his muscle. You got the two guards of Jabba. You have that little not really Star Wars, but the Power Ranger biker gang now with Boba, and now you also got Fennec Shen, and you have a Rancor. So you're slowly gathering a small militia. and you're wanting to even show respect to the other leaders in the area to go, okay, do you want to align yourself with me, or do you want to align yourself with the Pikes? Because again, the Pikes, yes, are making you business, but how long is it going to be before they turn on you? So again, I think that's what's going to happen to the possibly they're going to go to the Mandalorians for assistance. So again, that is my prediction for next week or within the next episode. What's going to happen? Don't know. What do you guys think about this episode? I know there's been a lot of mixed reviews. People are loving it. People are hating it. People think it's okay. People think Boba needs to be more Boba, that he needs to be more ferocious, that he needs to be more killing, he needs to be more badass. I agree. I don't think he needs to talk much. Even Tamir Morrison, who plays Boba and who also played Jango Fett, stated that Boba talks too much. He doesn't need to talk as much as he does. But at the same time, he is wanting to be a mafia leader in a way, so he's going to have to talk. But at the same time, I could see Fennec wanting to, like, you know, him whispering to Fennec and then she talks for him, because he even told her in the episode with the flashback that he's wanting to give her, he'll give her loyalty, he'll give her a percentage of all the costs, as well as also she will have his protection. And I think that's a good way, you know, to even get, you know, not only is she going to be an ally, she's going to be a friend, and have that, you know, that sort of like what Jango had. Now again, there are issues with Boba. I'm hoping it changes up a little bit. But what did you guys think about this episode? Was it good? Was it bad? I thought it was okay. We got to see more of what happened. That, again, a lot of people, including myself, was wondering. But, again, I want the flashbacks to just end, because, again, we should know what happened. But, honestly, the flashbacks should end at this point. It should. Either way, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments down below. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribing. Leave a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys on the next one.